with a little wheel at the back.
Yeah, there's only the one size of the helmet, yes.
Go through, we'll probably break the groups up into your experience levels. We'll find people that have had a fair bit of experience. We'll probably get through this in sort of 25 minutes or so. People that have never ridden before, it might be sort of up to about a 45-minute session, but we'll just see whatever needs you guys have. So thanks again for coming down here today. So obviously we're down here with the Beam scooters. You've probably seen two different sets of scooters in Canberra. You'll see the orange neon ones and you'll see the purple Beam ones. Both of those companies were successful with the ACT government in winning the tender to provide scooter services, and the ACT government has allowed both companies to have 750 scooters each at this stage. I think Alex from Beam is pretty hopeful that that increases both sort of in terms of number of scooters and also regions that they can go to. It'd be fantastic if they can, you know, service more of the south of Canberra and out to Gungahlin and things like that. So look, that's where we're at. My name's Simon, I'm from the Road Ready Centre, so we've teamed with Beam, so we're running their safety side of things. So in a minute we'll throw this open to you if you have some questions. Alex will probably answer any of the app questions or the scooter questions, and I'm happy to answer any of the more sort of road safety type questions. Just before we get started, a couple of really quick rules. This isn't supposed to be a big road rules day or anything like that, but just so you've got a few of the basics already under control. So does anybody know the 2 times that we're allowed to ride the scooter on the road? Anybody know when we're allowed to ride them on the road?
There's no footpath.
Yes, and I heard the other one here. So the 2 are correct. So if there's no footpath or shared path available, you are allowed on the road. If you need to cross the road, you're allowed to go on the road to cross the road. So they're the 2 times you're allowed. Other than that, we're actually not allowed to ride them on the roads. Does anyone know what speeds we're allowed to ride the scooters at?
Maximum of 8, is it?
8?
24.
24?
24.
24? Okay, so the actual ACT rule, so this is a PMD, and so personal mobility device, and the ACT law is on a shared path, so a cycleway, 25 kilometres an hour. On a footpath, 15 kilometres an hour. When you're crossing the road, 10 kilometres an hour. So they're your different speed zones you're allowed to go. You'll find that there's a couple of special zones. For example, if you go right into the middle of Canberra, into the city, there's areas that we don't take them. And there's areas like here, which is NCA, and they have a maximum of 15 kilometres. So you'll find today, if you're riding just in this area here, which is NCA, the GPS on these won't allow them to go higher than 15 kilometres. So it's just the way it is. We're not allowed to go any faster down here. Other really quick ones, we must have a helmet on. We can't ride tandem. We can't be affected by drug and alcohol. If we want to ride unsupervised, we need to be over 16, and I did check this lady's ID before, so we're all good there. And if you've got a parent with you, you can be as young as 12. So they're the rules that the ACT and Beam have come to ride with the scooters. Beg your pardon? Absolutely. So I did hear on the radio that there are going to be some people cracking down on the fact that people aren't wearing helmets and people are riding tandem. So I really do think that I've seen it as well. So look, it looks fun, but you know, obviously for safety reasons, there's a law in there for a reason. Before I just have a little bit of a chat about sort of the safety aspects of the scooters, are there any sort of general questions that people wanted to get answered before we get out there? Yeah.
Yes, how do you regulate the speeds in the 10 and the 15 and the 25? I mean,
I'll kick over to Alex for that, he's the expert on that.
So basically what we do is we have set geofences. So basically our system that controls these scooters, they have GPS that reports back to our internal system. And what that does, it tracks the GPS every 2 to 3 seconds. And when it enters a specific area, like the parliamentary triangle, it'll then reduce the speed to 15 kilometres per hour.
So it does it automatically?
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll notice that when you're going between 2 areas that it'll sort of speed up or slow down, and that's just as per the...
What if you're crossing
exactly
a road?
What not to do over there.
We
tandem with no helmets, that's exactly what we don't do. And we normally find that with the orange scooters.
I missed that, sorry.
No, that's okay. So when you're crossing the roads, we've made sure that any of these areas are on the roads themselves, because that is a big safety issue.
Yes. And there's no gears, are there?
No, it's just a single push.
So, as I said, I'm just going to have a quick chat about some of the safety aspects, and then we're going to get out there and have some fun. And we will probably break up into sort of some ability levels or friendship groups, however you want to do it. So just quickly on the safety stuff, the first thing I like to start talking about is courtesy. We have noticed a lot of people just leaving their scooters in the middle of the bike path or the footpath. Obviously, we're really hoping that people take some responsibility for sharing it and giving everyone the opportunity to share and enjoy. So if we are leaving them in the middle of a pathway, it's not really helping out other people who want to access that path as well. And the other thing we've noticed is a lot of people, when they're riding around with friends, which is fantastic to see, but actually stopping in the middle of the path and having conversations. And again, look, fantastic that you're out there with friends enjoying it, but that's probably the opportunity to hop off the pathway and have your conversations to let other people use that pathway. So just a couple of those sort of more courteous things. The other thing you'll find with parking, once you're finished with them, so the way the app works is Beam do not charge you to unlock the scooter. They then charge you a kilometre rate. If you then park it in one of their designated parking spots, which is on the app, you will not be charged any more money. However, if you decide to ride it home and leave it out the front of your house, they're going to charge you another $1. Does that make sense on how the charging works? So free to unlock, free to lock, so long as you lock it in a designated area. Yep, and then if you don't, it's a $1 charge. Still on safety, what I want to talk about, we're going to do a series of braking exercises and cornering exercises and things like that, so we'll really cover all of those sort of things when we're out there. But what I do ask people to think about is considering sort of low risk riding, which means that we ride to try and make sure that there's no crashes, whether they're our fault or someone else. If you notice someone up above you, there's 3 people walking abreast on the footpath and there's no room for you to get through, rather than just speeding up and trying to cut through the middle of them, you do have bills on the scooters, you can call out, and we just prefer people to use the pathways together in a good way, rather than getting some of this negative behaviours out there that we have seen, and we really don't want to have any of that sort of aspect in. They're great fun, it's a beautiful day, Canberra's the perfect place for them, so we really just want people to enjoy them. So I think we're just about ready to go, unless there's any final general sort of questions. As I say, we'll break you up into 3 groups, so you will have Tony, Kayla, or myself, Simon, and we'll take you out on the groups. We're not experts in the scooters or the apps. If you do want to know about them, when we're finished, you can talk to the guys in the purple tent, and they're the guys that are the experts on the apps and the actual scooters. When we come back in, each of the groups, we'll get you to park the scooters over against this side, against the steps. That way we know that these ones haven't been sanitised. We can then clean them and then we'll move them over to that side. As I said, the helmets are yours to keep. When we're finished, if you head up to the purple tent, they've got 2 vouchers to give you. One is a $25 credit voucher, and the other one is a drink voucher. So free to take the drink voucher over and grab a coffee or a milkshake or anything like that over to a cafe. And the $25 voucher can be used today if you want. There's some hire scooters over there, or you can keep it for another day and they'll just give you $25 worth of ride credit. So make sure you get the 2 vouchers when you're finished up today. Other than that, I think we should get out there and have some fun.